Hey YouTube, it's Saint, and I am a PvP guy, obviously. Big PvP nerd. I have been playing From Software games since Dark Souls 1. Today, I'm going to talk about something that predates that, Armored Core. So, I'm going to defer to people who have played Armored Core games. I don't know anything about them, other than, things that people have told me. I myself have no understanding of anything about Armored Core. But, as well as being a PvP guy, I'm also a bit of a real-life lore nerd. And the reason that is because after Dark Souls 3 came out, we had to go a long time by From Software standards before we got another game, Sekiro. And as a result, I started digging into every From Software related thing I could find because I was really interested in knowing what would happen after Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3, in interviews, marked, according to Miyazaki, the end of the Souls era of From Software. But I wanted my Knight game with invasions in it. And finally, an interview came out that Miyazaki said, yeah, there's going to be another Knight game with invasions in it. Not exactly his words, but that's what I took from the words that he said, because they confirmed those things. During this period, the Dark Souls 3 pre-release period, before Dark Souls 3 came out, Miyazaki did an interview, and the interviewer asked Miyazaki, like, hey, what else is From Software working on? Miyazaki had just become the president of From Software. He went from being a developer, director, to president of the entire studio. And he talked about Armored Core. So Armored Core was something that, we all knew. Anyone who read that interview, everyone knew that Armored Core was going to happen. I fully expected Armored Core to be shown off at the Game Awards. The reason I expected it is because that's what From Software does now. They announce a new game at the Game Awards. I expected maybe like a little teaser trailer, similar to what we got with Sekiro, where the prosthetic was being attached to the arm. It was very unnerving. It was a very weird little teaser trailer. I expected something like that for Armored Core. What we got instead was this massive, cinematic trailer. It's very cool. Will I play Armored Core? The answer to that question is yes, of course, absolutely. The reason that I will play Armored Core, interestingly enough, is because of Bloodborne, believe it or not. When Bloodborne came out, I was playing Dark Souls 2 on the Xbox. And then I saw Bloodborne, and I saw this Saw Cleaver Werewolf Hunter game. And I thought, I'll probably skip this one. That's not really the type of setting that I like in video games. I like knights and swords and shields, And I just went back to playing Dark Souls 2 on my Xbox. Then there was a leak of Dark Souls 3 with some screenshots and some details about the game. And they said that it was going to be next generation console only, meaning PlayStation 4 and whatever the different Xbox was called. And so I thought, alright, I'll get a PlayStation 4 for Dark Souls 3, and while I'm waiting for that to come out, I'll play this Bloodborne game. I played this Bloodborne game, and I loved it. I enjoyed it so much. It became one of my favorite games, and after that, I said, okay, if From Software is working on a game, I will give it a shot. So, with Sekiro, not exactly my thing, gave it a shot, one of my favorite games ever. Armored Core, not really my thing, gonna give it a shot, and I assume I will like it. Because that just seems to be the way it goes. But, yeah. Miyazaki, in a Dark Souls 3 interview, said we're working on Armored Core, so I'm expecting Armored Core. It's the Game Awards. I'm expecting Armored Core to come out, like a little teaser trailer or something. Instead, we get this full-blown cinematic trailer, and I would like to talk about my interpretation of this cinematic trailer, because a very interesting thing happens in the cinematic trailer. Again, I don't know anything about the history, the lore, the world of Armored Core, other than, you know, just a little bit that people, when you're on the internet, people want to tell you about the thing they know about. Welcome to YouTube. I'm telling you about the thing I know about. So, you know, Armored Core is a game about the planet being uninhabitable and ruined, and you know, feudal corporate overlords sending mercenaries out to gather resources. And okay, so that's what I've heard from people. I could go on, but I won't. You can get that information from people who have played Armored Core games. But what I'm getting at, as a real life lore nerd here, is the trailer had an interesting shot right at the very beginning. It was almost one for one, straight up the Dark Souls 1 opening cinematic shot. From the dark they came. A big cavernous abyss with figures inside this cavernous abyss. And it's interesting to me because every game since Demon Souls has sort of represented the Miyazaki-fication of From Software's IP. Demon Souls was meant to be a Kingsfield game. Sekiro was meant to be a Tenchu game. Bloodborne shares a lot of similarities with a game called Shadow Tower. And it's like Miyazaki is taking these From Software titles and he's putting them through this filter, and the filter is himself. And this will not be the first Armored Core game that Miyazaki has worked on, by the way. He straight up directed a game, Armored Core 4 Answer. And this game, Armored Core 6, he started the work on it, and then he passed it off to Yamamura, a producer who's been with From Software for a while. But this will be the first time that we've seen Yamamura in a sort of lead role, so that could be interesting. But my point is, this opening cinematic sharing so much with that opening Dark Souls cinematic makes me wonder if this will be a sort of welcoming point for new players who have not played the other Armored Core games. The answer to that has to be yes, from a let's make money standpoint. You just sold more copies of Elden Ring than you've sold of anything ever as a company. As a result, you know, you want those players to stick around and to, you know, try your new game. I love that From Software kept the 6 in the title of Armored Core rather than just reboot it and call it Armored Core 2023. They said, no, keep the 6 in there. It's important that people understand that this goes back a ways. And I like that they did that. But at the same time, you would have to be an absolute dumbass to not try and capitalize on the success of all of your new players from the Souls games and Elden Ring. And that opening cinematic to me sort of was like, this is the genesis point. This is the starting point. This is a place where you can come and, you know, you can witness the history of this world. Similar to Dark Souls 1's trailer. And I thought that was a very cool little detail. Is it possible that my dumbass is reading too much into it? Yeah. But that ain't content, baby. Content is when you talk. So I'm talking. But no, I do. I really think that. And I think it's really cool, too. I think it's, like, it really, you know, shocked me. I've uploaded my my like live reaction of the Armored Core trailer, and from I was streaming on Twitch watching the Game Awards. I've uploaded that live reaction, and I mean, like, it was the very first thing I noticed. Some people were like, "Oh, I thought it was a fake out. I thought they were doing like a Dark Souls thing." To me, it never occurred to me that it was like a Souls thing or anything like that. It was like, oh, we're at the origin point. We're at the genesis of the story. So, yes, I will play Armored Core. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. No, it's not typically the type of game I play, but From Software, I'll keep buying their stuff until they make something I don't like, and they haven't done that yet. So, $60 down the drain for Armored Core. Can't wait. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Later, y'all.